Well, hello, welcome back to another video. This is Brave Diamonds Handmade, and I am Natalie, the maker and creator behind the brand. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for checking me out. I hope you like it, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. I'm honored to have everybody here. So today we are going to do a little bit of a different video, but not that different from what we've been doing. Just a little different. I'm going to wrap up. I did my last two markets last week, and I'm going to wrap up all the, I'm going to recap those markets because there's only a little bit to show you. I didn't get much footage of either one, but I did get some. So I will go through that with you guys right now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just talk a little bit about the last two markets. Now, those were last week. It has been a week, and I've kind of taken the week off a little bit. Although I wasn't fully planning on it. So we'll get into that here in a minute. So the first, I had my last week, if I can get my words out, I had two markets in 1 week. One was a Thursday night at the middle school, Jefferson County Middle School, and the second one was on Saturday, and that was on, or at the Back to Nature Garden Center in Augusta, Georgia. So those were the last two markets of my blitz, and it was pretty good. So I will tell you, the first on Thursday now, that week, my son was sick all week with a double ear infection, and it progressed into that, and Thursday was the day that I had to take him to the doctor, and I could not get him in any sooner. And that really was kind of pushing into my stress level because I had to go to I had to be set up. I had to be there at the middle school by like 3:30 to start setting up because the event started at 4:30. And they literally just ended school, and so they didn't have time to let anybody else in earlier either because the area where they were having the event was in their bus area. And it was a regular school day, so we had to wait till at least 3:15 for the buses to leave. So I couldn't get there. I couldn't do it earlier, but Jacob's appointment, I could not get him in earlier either because the doctors were out all day. Anyways, and they were booked the day before. So, but I decided, we're just going to make it work, and I talked with my husband. We made arrangements so that he could maybe go and start setting up everything, and then I would take Jacob and meet him there. So we went to the doctor, and on the way to the doctor, the craziest thing happened, you guys. I've never seen this before. But it happened right in front of us. We were at an intersection to make a left turn, and it's kind of like one highway intersecting with another, and I'm talking about like the country highways, right? So we're there, and we're at a red light. It's like a T intersection. We're just waiting for the light to turn green, and it did. And we were behind a few trucks, and everybody started to make their turns, and one truck made the turn, and the truck in front of us went to make its turn, and I don't know what happened, but he just started to turn and went, bloop, just like that. Just fell over on his side. I could not believe it. It was so shocking, and we were so scared for a minute there. So I pulled over right away because I was literally right behind him. So I pulled over right in front of where he had kind of crashed there, and I ran out of the car to see if he was okay, and he was, thank the Lord. He was totally fine. Shaken, rattled for sure, as anybody would be, but he was okay. And it happened right in front. The intersection just happened to be right in front of Stuckey's Candy Factory, the pecan factory. And it was, the middle of the day or the afternoon. And so as I go run up and I look around and I'm like, I don't have my phone. I need to call 911. I turn around to go back to the car, and all these people are just rushing out of the factory. I see 3 people at least on their phone, and people are just rushing. They still have their, their covers on, their hairnets, their beard covers, and they are rushing over there to help them. And a couple other people pulled over. And so it really blessed me, honestly. And it's not about me here, but I'm the one telling the story. And so it really did bless me to see how many people came to his rescue to help him. And that's something that I know some of y'all have heard. The story of to look for the helpers when you have these accidents, because it really is reassuring that humanity is not all lost. And so anyways, so it took like less than 2 minutes, and the cops were there, and the fire trucks and the ambulance were coming over, and the guy somebody, I couldn't do it, but another gentleman got up on the truck and held the door open because he couldn't keep it open, to get out. So he held the door open so he could climb out and jump down. And like I said, he was totally fine. I don't think he even had a scratch, but that was very unsettling. So he had a Quikrete that was what he was hauling. That's what was in the trailer. And I guess it just wasn't loaded properly, and it probably shifted, and gravity and physics kind of take over there when you're making that turn. But he wasn't speeding. He wasn't doing anything crazy. He was just turning. It just fell over. And the way it fell over was so matter of fact and so undramatic. I've never seen something so dramatic be so undramatic, if that makes any sense. We're sitting there, my son and I were like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It's just falling over. It was slow motion. It was crazy. But so once the trucks, the fire trucks and the police and everybody started pulling over, I said, let's get out of here because I got to get you to the appointment. I got somewhere else to be, and they've got this. I can't do anything but pray for this person and for the situation. So, which I did. So we left, and it took them a while to get that. When we were done with at the doctor's appointment, when we came back, and they were still there. And even after the market, they were still there unloading. They had to unload all that stuff before they could flip the truck back over. But anyway, so that was a bit of drama. So we go to the doctor. He gets, he gets checked up, and they said, oh, he's got double ear infection and a sinus infection. My poor guy was so miserable. And they gave him some medicine, and so I kind of then rushed over to the market, traded with Dad. Dad took him back, and we finished setting up. And we had the market. And then my dad came and helped me to break down and pack everything up so we could go home. And Ernie did stay with me. So it was fun. The event itself, unfortunately, I thought I had got some footage of the setup, but I was looking back through, and I tried to film a video on this before, and I cannot find. I really thought I had got a video of the setup, but it must have been one of those things where I thought I hit record, but I didn't. So, unfortunately, I don't have any footage. But honestly, they had a DJ playing, not as loud as the Ren's event, but still, I wouldn't have been able to use very much anyway. I did want to just get the setup, but you guys have seen my setup. You guys know what it looks like, and I'm going to show you on the Saturday video. The Saturday one's actually a little bit different, but you guys have seen my setup, and it's kind of the same of what I usually do. So yeah, so there's that. And then it was kind of a slow market because really, I mean, it was, how can I say this? It was really just kind of like a fun day. They had bouncy houses, they had rock climbing walls, they had the DJ, they had Chick-fil-A was there. I thought it would have been a little bit busier, but really it ended up being mostly students just hanging out, and some teachers and some parents. But yeah, they had like some university there. They had some job. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what the whole plan was for the purpose of the event, but it was still nice. They had some jobs, like career people there. So anyways, it was nice, but it was not that busy. But still, I think we managed to have pretty decent sales considering there weren't that many of them. And we'll get into the numbers here in a minute. But I think it was pretty good overall. So, but it was slow. Sales-wise, it was okay. It was only a 2-hour event. I mean, we were packed up and done. It was over at 6:30. We were home by 7. it was pretty easy. So considering the drama that I had gone through earlier in the day, the market was actually kind of relaxing because I could just sit there and crochet a little bit. So anyways, so then I had Friday, I had to work Friday, I had to make up a couple hours because I had taken off Thursday because Jacob was pretty bad. So I had to make up a couple hours on Friday, so I didn't have much time to crochet anything, but I think I made a couple of Yodas and some keychains, and that was it. And then the market came on Saturday, and it was a gorgeous, gorgeous day. I mean, the weather could not be prettier. It was just a little bit breezy. Every once in a while, the breeze got to be a bit much, as far as, making you a little nervous for your tent, but it never got out of hand. And our setting was just beautiful. So back to Nature Garden Center. It's kind of one of those places that you wouldn't know unless you know. It's like a local place. So they have a little bistro. They have some animals like turkeys and pigs and goats and chickens, of course. And it's set back and it's very serene and it's very beautiful. And of course they sell, plants and garden supplies and things like that. So it's a very nice place. The only thing I did not like was our particular spot, and you'll see in the pictures and when I show you the video, was in between a small like deck, wooden deck or platform, because there was a little stream behind us. That part was just beautiful. There was a little stream behind us. Well, we were right next to a little wooden platform deck kind of thing where people could go and kind of overlook and see the little stream down there. I mean, it's a little stream, but it was very pretty. And then on the other side of us was a fire pit, and it had some iron bars, to kind of keep people from falling in, but it didn't offer much protection against my plushies. And I did lose a plushie when I was setting up. Look at this hair sticking up. I did lose a plushie when I was setting up. It was my Light Fury dragon. She fell in there and got all dirty, full of ashes. So that was a bummer. But I learned at that event to only put things that could lay flat and, so that they didn't fall over as easily on that side. And we had to, but both of those things kind of cut into our space. We were supposed to have a 10 by 10 space, but those things kind of cut into our 10 by 10 space. So we didn't really end up having the full 10 by 10, which was disappointing because, we're used to having that side, but that's what we paid for. But it was only $20 table fee. It was a nice event, and honestly, I didn't feel like complaining about that. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. And I'm just mentioning it here because that's the only thing that I would say was not so great. But besides that, the way we had to do our setup, I actually kind of liked our setup a little bit better like that. And so I may play around with the layout going forward because I did like it. But I do like the layout we've been using as well, so it's always something that you can tweak and modify and see how it works. So anyway, so the event got off to a pretty promising start. I saw people coming in. It seemed like a lot of people were coming in with their families and a lot of kids. And so I was kind of excited. They had snow cones, they had candy, they had another plushie vendor, and it's the same plushie vendor that I have now been to 2 other events with. So this is the 3rd event that I had this one particular plushie vendor, and I'm sorry, but I did not get footage of her setup. I don't think any of these times. It just hasn't worked out, and it's not that I'm not trying to show her. I would really like to show her stuff. She does great work, and honestly, her setup to me is beautiful, and I would love to have something along those lines. It's very clean. It's very attractive. I love it. And her stuff is good. So this is the third event that I've been to where she's also been at. So, I've learned the first one is, and this is going to be one of my points later, is that I don't have to fear competition. I don't have to worry about it, and we can all make money. And my stuff will stand out on its own just like hers does. There were 2 other vendors that were selling crochet plushies, but that was not their main thing. One was selling a lot of sewn plushies, and her stuff was really cool. It was very unique. It was not stuff that you would see. For example, she would do a bear with snake eyes, or she would use unique kind of touches like that. It was very cool. And she did have a few crochet plushies, but most of what she had was handmade sewn plushies. And then another one was like, I think she was selling some other stuff, like maybe some jewelry and some things like that. But she also had a few crocheted items. Not a lot, but a few. And hers was pretty cute as well. I mean, everybody there had good stuff. I think one other person might have had a couple little crochet. So it really was kind of a lot of plushies to choose from. But I think we still did okay. Now, like I said, it started off promising, but it did not pan out that way. It kind of never really took off. And so most of the day, and we were there, I think it was from 10 or 11 to 4. It was slow pretty much most of the day. It never really got going. I did have a few, waves of people coming in and buying things, but nothing crazy, and never got really busy. So, but that was it. So I would like to put in a few clips here of the market, and the one on Saturday. Like I said, I don't really have anything for Thursday. But as soon as I'm done with that, then we're going to get into the actual numbers, and then we're going to go to the next part of the video. Okay, we're at the Back to Nature Garden Center. This is the last event, and look how gorgeous it is here, you guys. Look at this. It is beautiful. I'm going to turn the camera around. We are back up to this little stream here, and we are right next to this platform and a fire pit. I don't know how that's gonna go, but a lot of tree cover.
Hi, you guys.
Beautiful. Here's Ernie.
I just found something really cool.
You found something really cool?
Can I take it?
Okay, it's Ernie Cam time.
But I found bamboo. Look up here. Look at it, up, wobbling. So yeah, I just found some bamboo, guys.
Say hello.
Well, hello.
Hi. How you doing? Good.
Small oranges. I had it sitting on the side of it.
Guys, I've been talking and I forgot to press record. It's been kind of slow, but people are coming and, well, I had pushed play. I thought I had pushed play and I had told a whole story. And apparently I hadn't pushed it. I wasn't recording. Oh well.
I have eyeballs. Okay.
Hey, doing good. How are you?
I always loved all the crochet babies.
Oh yes, they're fun to make.
Oh, I imagine. I would love to pick up that skill at some point.
Oh, just go to YouTube. YouTube University.
Nice.
That's how I learned.
But they look beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, possums. I love possums.
Oh yeah.
Every time I see a possum out here, I'm like, let me get you some food. hey,
Oh, they'll take it. They'll be happy
I know.
to.
They're so cute. I love them.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been really good. The weather is beautiful. Look at my scenery. Look at this. There's a little creek behind me. There's tall magnolia trees here. Everything. The setting, the venue is very nice. I'm back. All right, what did you guys think about that? So I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna try and make this part quick, where I'm gonna go through what sold and the totals for the day and for the weekend. Okay, so again, Thursday, like I said, was not that busy. We had mostly students, some parents and teachers, but even considering that's who was there, they were still buying. So we have 12 complete transactions, $161 collected, and $149.08 in net sales. Okay, so during that day, we sold a Myrtle the Turtle for $15, a Strawberry Heart keychain for $10, and a small $5 plushie. So that was a $15 sale. We sold the Chubby Baby Dino, which is that green dino that I wasn't sure about the face. It had been sitting in my back room for a while. I finished it off and I still wasn't sure about the face. And it had such a big head, but it sold. So somebody just could not take their eyes off of it. They just loved it. And that's just the best, you know? All right. So then I sold my bass car swing and my penguin car swing. And those were $12 each, so that was $24 sale. Then I sold another $5 plushie. I don't remember which ones. With my little $5 plushies, I just throw them in a bin and I just categorize them all as miscellaneous small plushies because I didn't want to keep track. I just want to be able to throw something in, make something and throw it in there, and that's good. Like the mini frogs. Mostly what I sell from there are mini frogs and chicks. Those are the number one thing I sell out of there. Sometimes it's a little puppy, a little bear, a little heart, but those are the main things that sell out of there anyways. So then we sold a Baby Yoda. Those are really fun. I'm liking that pattern. It's quick, it's easy, and it works up cute, and it's very recognizable. Okay, so we sold the Chubby Bird pattern, the Cockatiel. That is a pattern by Madeline Mako. It's part of an 11-in-1 variations bird pack, Chubby Birds pack. It's so cute. There's many in there, and it's always like $1 or $1.50 or something for the pattern. So I highly recommend it. You go get it because it works up quick and easy, and they are very cute. Now I have had that one for a while, but I think it's my colors. I think it just was, and I think also it was kind of hiding a little bit among everything else. But anyways, it sold, and we're happy about that. It was $10. Then I sold the Sammy the Pig, and that is a Stacy Makes pattern. It's one of maybe her lesser known patterns, but it's really cute. So go check out that pattern as well. I sold it for $12. Okay. Then I had a sale here. It says Venmo. I can't remember what that was. My goodness, what was that? Oh, it was a chick. Okay, clicked on it. It was a chick. So that was great. But that was paid by Venmo. So I don't know why here it just says Venmo, but it was a chick. Okay, so then I sold the chubby mallard. That's also part of the Madeline Mako bird pack, chubby bird pack. And I sold that one for $10. Then, it says here Cash App, I sold a Yoda, and that was a Cash App payment. So that was my second Yoda. I had only taken 2, and I sold 2 at a slow event. So that was pretty good. I was very happy with that. Again, I love this pattern. The pattern is by Amigurumi, and I don't know if I'm saying that right. But anyways, it is a very cute pattern on Etsy. And then my last sale was 2 small plushies out of my miscellaneous plushie bin. So yeah, those were 2 $5 plushies for $10. So that was my total for Thursday. Then, going into Saturday, we had 15 transactions, and that was a total of $308 that we collected, and the net sales $285.21. And so what sold there was the Yoda. I made another couple of Yodas. So I sold a Yoda and a watermelon keychain heart. Watermelon heart keychain. Then I sold a chick with the Easter egg and 2 little mini Mabel Bell chicks. Mabel chicks? Mabel Bell. I'm just adding names to it. And that came out to $25. Then we exchanged the chick and the egg for something else. But that was okay. I have that was a $10 item. So then I sold a small sitting triceratops. That was a Crochet by Jenna pattern. Very cute. She has some small sitting patterns like the axolotl, the dragon, and the triceratops. I can't remember what else she has, but they're all really good patterns. So, and almost all no-sew. So that was cute. That went for $20. And this was kind of funny. This was a mom who was really trying to get her daughter to go for this triceratops. And the daughter actually ended up not wanting anything, if you can believe it. She was young, like 5 or 6 years old. She didn't want anything. And the mom said, that's it, I'm getting it. I said, Mom, you can buy things for yourself too. You know, if you like it, it could be your triceratops. She said, I know, that's what I'm going to do. So she got that for herself. Then I sold the Raisin the Raccoon Splitter. That is a Snuggle Beans crochet pattern for $40. I sold the little lizard. I had showed you guys I had made a brown and a green lizard. I sold one lizard at one event, and then this. No, I gave my son one lizard, and then I sold the green one. Sorry about that. That was $12, and that is by Nicola Crochet. It says the pattern name is like Crochet Toy Lizard. Toy plush lizard. It is a very quick and easy pattern, and I like it because it's just something different, and I don't see a lot of other people making that, so it's a good one. Then I sold a mini loaf cat for $8. Now none of my loaf cats really go for $8 except for the ones that I first made, because I made those with like a velvet yarn, and they come out a lot smaller, and you know, that's what I priced them in the beginning. So that was $8. That was a oldie but a goodie. Then I sold an axolotl for $12. And I sold one of my dragons. You guys remember my dragons from my 7 dragons in 7 days? I am down to 2 dragons now. So I did sell one for $45. That was the dark gray one. Then I sold a Chewbacca for $28. That gentleman stopped. He looked at it and he's like, I gotta have that. So that is it. So it was very good sale. Oh. Let's cut that out. Okay, then I sold Hank the Hippo. That is another Stacy Makes pattern for $25. That's a hippo, and oh, it's one of her fancy pants collection. And I love animals and overalls, and all of her fancy pants is like a way to do animals and overalls, and I just love it. So got that. Then I sold 2 chick with frog hats for $20. I sold a miscellaneous small plushie. That one I remember was a mini frog. And it's a mini leggy frog for $5. I sold one of the opossums that are the QB Crochet rat adaptations. QB Crochet does have possum patterns, but I just had bought the rat pattern, and Robin from Notting Hook Crochet would make those and do what do you call, like a variation, an adaptation. And then my last sale was the cat bee, which was so cute. That is a magic filament pattern, and I sold that for $18. And that's it. That's all my sales. So all together, I have my totals here somewhere. What do I do with it? All together, we had total gross of $457.08. Net $414.29, and an average of $16.93. That was for the whole weekend. So, not terrible. I'll take that all day. Honestly, guys, like I said, it was slow. So for it to be slow and I still made that, it's really good. I'm happy with that. Alright, so that is it for today's video. I hope you liked it. I decided that we're going to split this into 2 videos. So I'm going to end this one here. We've gone over, you know, the week where I had the 2 markets and you guys saw some footage. It's more than I thought I had. So now, after seeing, I'm editing right now. And so after I've seen, I actually had quite a bit of footage. So thank goodness for that. And the music was not as loud as I thought it would be. So, because there was background music there was music playing at the Back to Nature Garden Center. So, but it wasn't too loud, so it didn't really pick up very much. So that's good. But anyways, yeah, so I'm going to do, the next video is going to be where I talk about the lessons that I've learned and I share with you guys what I've been making this week. So stay tuned for that one as well. And until then, please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the market so far. Do you have any comments? Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. And as always, be sweet and God bless. Bye-bye.
God is good.